Warner Music Group partners with the Sandbox for virtual concert venues. I'm interested in what society as a whole will think about this type of thing, because I'm not sure if virtual concerts is going to stick as much as being there, like the live experience. There's something about just being in that environment that is worth every penny of the ticket that you spent, because it's just like a very memorable experience. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. The world changes. What are your thoughts on this?
I think it's not a bad move for them. I do agree with you. Mm-hmm. The Metaverse, like I've explained, it's an online video game that's rebranded. Yeah, because people spend a lot of money on VR and AR tech. They need something else for you to spend money on. Mm-hmm. A lot of the aspects are good ideas. Some of them are just, like I can listen to music inside of this video game. Right. People already do that. Right. There's soundtracks inside of video games. Yeah. The fact that it's live or not is just, yeah. Now, if there's monetization of these, where there's NFTs inside the video game, that'd be crazy. Then it gets interesting. Yeah. Especially when you can, buy these with, let's say, Snoop Dogg's got his thing, and you can own part of Snoop Dogg's NFTs or his coin and all that stuff. That gets interesting. Mm-hmm. But if it's just me sitting there with this, the graphics not all that good, by the way, in this video game, it's just people already have that. Right. So we'll see what comes of this. Mm-hmm. Like I said, marketing-wise, a smart move because it's hot right now. Mm-hmm. Until they get practical use out of it, though, like I was saying with the NFTs and coins, it's just a bubble waiting to happen. So there were a lot of companies, as people are familiar, in the .com bubble that just because they put .com after their name, they were getting a bunch of money flowing into them. But they didn't actually do anything. Facts. Like there was no utility behind them. Mm-hmm. So they ran out of money. Yeah. And the bubble burst and people lost their money that they put in there. Mm-hmm. So yes, bet on the future, but make sure that there's something to be done in the video game. So this is for instance, Sandbox really is just a video game. If there has to be people playing it, so it has to be fun. And there needs to be the decentralized ownership. So the ownership has to be going to everybody. Like there has to be a way to gain more coins, and not just like the Sandbox tokens, also the tokens of the individual people inside of it. Yes. If it doesn't get there, whoever does that first and does it best is gonna set themselves up. That's right. But like we were saying with Audius Tech. So Audius is a music streaming service, and I like where their idea is, but like I was saying, I think they're moving a bit slow on the tech. Yeah. Now I don't develop blockchain tech, so I don't know actually how long it takes to code and all that stuff. But on the consumer side, I think they launched last year. And especially if you raise a bunch of money through token sales, getting the extra functionality where like these ideas that we've been talking about on the show are still not available on Audius. And like when you get more and more headlines, that's your chance to really like go in and seize the day. 100%. Not to say it's too late for them. I don't think it is. But it gives your competition more time to go search and like make sure that you don't ever get ahead. Mm-hmm. So we could see that with, for example, like Instagram and Snapchat. Mm-hmm. So yeah, some people still use Snapchat, but Instagram had enough room. Actually, it wasn't even they had enough room. They moved fast enough. Yeah. They moved quickly enough that Snapchat wasn't able to get their user base. Yeah. And we even see people move in sometimes not as clean ways. Yeah. Now this is, I don't know if I want to call it good business or not. But even with like Parler, for instance, Parler was getting a bunch of users it could be argued that it was illegally taken off of some stores, the Apple Store and the Play Store.
Right.
But it was effective.
That's right.
I wouldn't do it personally because that's not how I get down. But apparently Apple and Google are fine getting down like that. Look, they're ruthless people.
Right.
So they cut off this social media app when it was getting millions of downloads a day, and they just cut it off. They said whatever reason they wanted to, and they cut that joint off. So they kept their market share. They kept a lot of their users. Now, they did lose some, but they kept a lot of their users for Facebook, Meta now,
right?
Twitter, and whatever other social media when people were trying to leave. So if a business is not moving fast enough, it's something you guys have to, and us, and anybody who wants to, be involved in this world, buy tokens and all that.
Yeah,
got to watch out for it.
100%.
Don't just be one of these people that say this is going to the moon and all this stuff.
Right.
It could.
Right.
But people need to use it. It has to have utility.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.